We are back working on my Miller Trailblazer 250G. So over on the other side, I pulled out the oil fill tube because I was going to try to clean it up a little bit. And as soon as I pulled it out, water started running out the bottom of the motor. So I'm not too convinced on what's going on here. I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this. This is the oil fill, or the oil drain plug here. Now, my trailer is sitting on a hill, so it might not drain anything at all, but I want to try to drain this out the bottom of the motor and see if we can get the rest of that out. So let's do that. This could get interesting. And as you can see there, looks like more water. And looks like a mixture of water and sludge. I don't know what you call it. There's some oil in there, I guess. It ain't looking good though. And that's what we got. That's what you got right there. It looks like a oil. It's kind of thick like oil, but it's definitely watered down. Here is my oil fill tube hole, and if you look, I don't know if you can see that, but you got the same mixture was on the other side. And down here on the trailer itself, you can see that too. And this is my dipstick tube that I pulled out. And as soon as I pulled that out from here, it just started pouring. It was clear water like for the first 4 or 5 seconds, and that turned into that water-based sludge, oily, whatever you want to call it. So the reason, what got me suspicious was right here, I pulled the spark plug out and I was rotating the motor to see, you know, see what was holding up, because it felt like it was turning a little bit hard, and every time I turned the motor it would push a little bit of water out of this spark plug hole. And when I seen the water coming out, I knew that we had problems. So then I went down to here, and that's when I realized that we have a, now I don't know what we have an engine full of water apparently. So now the only thing I know to do is figure out how I'm going to get the rest of this stuff out of here, and then try to flush it and clean out the motor as best as possible. And up here where this is at, I don't know why there's water up there, so there might be more problems than we think. There might be a hole in the piston, might be a cracked head, I'm not sure, but there was definitely water coming out of this spark plug hole. I got one of these things, and we're going to try to pump the rest of this stuff into this container here and see if we can get this rest of the way out. I don't know what's going to happen here. It's definitely oil, but there's definitely some water in there. And now what we'll do is I'm going to put my dipstick tube back in and see if we can get this thing to hook up right. Close enough. And now I'm going to go ahead and get a quart of oil or two and put it in here, then rotate the motor by hand back here for a few minutes and try to get that oil moved around the motor as much as possible. Then pull this back out, pump it back out, and keep doing that until we get the oil a lot cleaner than it is now, preferably clean. So what I got in this little container is old engine oil out of my vehicle. And then I added some diesel fuel to it, so it's a lot thinner than regular oil. Now it is old oil, used oil, but at this point, I mean, we just dumped how many quarts of water out of this thing. I don't think putting anything in this thing is going to hurt it, as long as it's not water. I'm going to take this, dump a little bit of this into it. We'll check the dipstick till it's full, and then rotate the old motor here and try to get this stuff worked around as much as possible, then drain it back out. Should have got a funnel. A little bit more. We can put a little bit more in. Try to put the rest of that in, I guess. Ain't gonna hurt it, I guess. Alright. We got that full. Gonna put our dipstick back in. I don't know why. Whatever. And now we're gonna take this and rotate it by hand. If I had an impact gun, I'd put an impact gun on here and just run it with an impact gun just to get it moving quicker. We'll rotate it for a little bit and then we're gonna drain it back out. Now, I'm assuming that by rotating this motor, there's an oil pump in the motor and it's actually pumping all that through the motor. I know on like my vehicle, a regular vehicle, that's how it works, but on these small engines, I'm not sure how that works. I never really got into that. So, I'm hoping that by rotating this, it's actually pumping that oil throughout the whole engine. I guess we'll find out. And I'm hoping I'm turning it the right way. Don't know if that matters or not. Again, I've never worked on a small engine before. No idea. This might be a lost cause. Alright, so we've been spinning it for a while. Let's go ahead and drain it out. Once I got done rotating this motor, I let this thing set for about 5 minutes just to let all that oil we moved around drain back down into the, I'm going to say pan, but I don't even know if it's a pan, the bottom of the block, whatever. So let it set for a couple minutes. Let's go ahead and pull it out and we're going to see what's going on with this. Alright, nothing came out. Imagine that. We'll have to pump it out, I guess. So I don't know if that did anything or not, because it's coming out pretty clean now, and I can't imagine it being clean after one fill up like that. But I don't know. I don't know. Let's put the dipstick back in, the dipstick tube back in. And I've got a different idea. So one of the problems I think we have, and you probably can't tell from this video, but my trailer's sitting on a hill, and this side over here is a lot lower than this side. So when I come over here to where my oil drain plug is, right here, it won't drain out. So instead of moving my trailer, what I did was I got a couple 2x4s and put a couple 2x4s up underneath the back and the front right there, and got that thing jacked up. So now, if we look at it, and you probably can't tell, but it is leaning that way a lot more, and now I should be able to drain it with my drain plug like it's supposed to be. So let's put another solution of oil in there, in my dipstick tube there, spin the motor around again, and then drain the oil from the other side and see what happens. I took my used motor oil and diesel fuel mixture, I dumped it back in, filled it back up again, and I went and rotated the motor in the opposite direction that I rotated it last time. Now whether or not that makes a difference, I don't know, but whatever. I rotated it in the opposite direction for about 5 minutes again, and now we're getting ready to pull this drain plug. And what I'm hoping is this oil is actually going through the whole engine and cleaning it. I don't think it's cleaning it, but in my mind, you know, it's cleaning it. It's better than what's in it now. So anyways, rotated that motor, like I said, 5 minutes, the opposite direction. We're going to go ahead and pull this drain plug, let all this stuff drain out, and then we're going to decide what our next move is. Let's see what happens. Just trying to get most of it in without spilling it on the trailer itself, which it doesn't matter, but that's what it looks like coming out. It still looks pretty good right there, but I know what was in there before, and there is some you can still see like some water and some of that goop from before coming out with it. Let's let that finish draining there. That's it. We've ran that oil diesel fuel mixture through this engine twice, and I'm thinking that it's not actually going through the whole engine. I'm thinking it's just laying in the oil pan. I'm rotating the engine, it's just laying in the oil pan, and I'm draining it back out, and nothing's happening. So I don't know how that works. I don't know if there's like an oil pump in the engine like there is in a regular, like, say, Chevy 350. I'm familiar with those. Say there's an oil pump that sits inside down in the oil pan, and when you run the engine, it pumps oil through the engine. That's what I'm assuming this thing does, but I don't know. Maybe it doesn't do it when you just rotate it by hand. Maybe the oil pump's not working. Maybe it doesn't work like that at all. I don't know, but I'm getting the feeling that it's not actually going through the engine. It's just laying in the oil pan. I'm just draining it back out, just wasting my time. So I'm going to quit doing that for now till I do some more research on that and actually find out how these things work, because like I said before, I don't know. I never really messed with them that much. This is all new territory for me. But I want to show you something else that's concerning to me that I'm probably going to do before we get back to trying to clean this engine, to see if this engine is even worth cleaning. And what my concern is this spark plug hole right here, and you can see right there, that is the gump and goop that we pulled out when we originally first took this thing off, this dipstick tube off, and that ran out. Every time I turn this motor, I don't know, I'll turn it, see if it does it, but every time I turn this motor, you can hear, and you just seen it right there, there's water coming out of that spark plug hole. Okay? And I'm pretty sure that's not normal. So every time I turn it, it's not a lot, but if I turn it really hard and fast, you'll see a little bit spit out. And it's that oil-water mixture that we had earlier. So something's definitely not right on this side. I took the spark plug off on the other side, and it's dry. It doesn't do anything. So again, why is there water coming out the hole? There's got to be something going on in there. There's got to be a cracked head, a hole in the piston. I don't know. There's got to be something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this head off, and these bolts look pretty rusted in there, so I might have to put some PB Blaster on these things first and let them set for a while. And I'm going to take this head off and find out what's going on in here, because if we got a cracked block, then it's obviously not worth saving, and we need to move on and go with a different route. If we got a cracked head, then we need to buy a new head. If we got valves that ain't sealing, which I don't know if the valve's not sealing is going to let water get in there, but at some point there's water getting in there and I don't know why. So I think we need to address that problem before we address actually getting the motor clean. I'm pretty much done here for tonight. Like I said, we're going to take this head off. In the next part, we're going to get inside this engine and actually see what's going on in there. But that's going to be for part 3. So, again, thanks everybody for watching. If you got any comments, got any answers for me, any solutions, any suggestions, go to the comment section. Leave them in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Click that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. Share this video, like this video, and thanks for watching.